AI is now both the shield that saves data and the scalpel that slices it. Who wins the next round? The internet feels sharper now because machines learn to move at human speed or faster. Organizations face automated probes, cloned voices, and perfect phishing in multiple languages. Security teams answer with machine learning that sifts mountains of logs in minutes. This video peels back both sides: how defenders use AI, how attackers weaponize it, and what practical steps keep your org safe. First, why did this arms race ignite so suddenly? A perfect storm created the race. Cloud migration and remote work multiplied attack surfaces. Data volumes exploded past what humans can triage. Foundation models and cheap compute lowered the cost to build smart attacks. Meanwhile, security teams were already stretched thin. The net result: both attackers and defenders found AI irresistible. Next, how defenders use these tools to detect threats faster than ever. Think of AI as a searchlight scanning logs for weird patterns. Endpoint detection and response systems use models to learn normal user behavior and flag anomalies like impossible travel or sudden data transfers. Behavioral analytics turn raw logs into risk scores, so analysts chase fewer false leads. That compression of work cuts mean time to detect from hours to minutes. But what happens when attackers turn the same speed against you? Orchestration platforms act like a self-driving pit crew for incidents. AI enriches alerts, ranks them by business impact, and triggers playbooks to isolate endpoints or block IPs. Humans still set strategy, but machines finish repetitive tasks fast. That lower mean time to respond limits damage. But automation introduces new risks. Automated action without oversight can amplify mistakes. So where should humans sit in this loop? Security shifts left when AI joins the dev toolchain. Static and dynamic testing augmented with models flag risky libraries, suggest safer APIs, and generate patches. Teams prioritize bugs by exploitability and blast radius rather than raw severity. This shortens the window between discovery and fix. Yet automated suggestions need human review. A wrong patch can break production. Up next, how AI secures identity and fights fraud at scale. Identity systems use behavioral biometrics and ML to spot account takeover and synthetic identities. Models examine keystroke patterns, mouse paths, and session anomalies to score risk. Pair that with phishing-resistant authentication, like passkeys, and you raise the cost for attackers dramatically. Small controls, like hardware keys for admins, stop many attacks cold, but attackers adapt quickly. What do they do when AI is in their toolbox? Most breaches still start at the human door: social engineering. AI amplifies that by crafting flawless, personalized messages and multilingual lures. Attackers can pull public posts, corporate bios, and press releases to tailor phishing campaigns that look completely normal. When a message lands at the perfect time, clicks spike. So how polished are these attacks now? The next scene shows the tools of the offensive trade. Deepfakes moved from novelty to a practical tool. Voice cloning can mimic an executive's cadence well enough to pass a quick phone check. There are documented incidents where finance teams wired funds after a cloned voice call. Video conference imposters now exist. This breaks the old rule that voice or video proves identity. So how should organizations verify high-value requests now? Automated reconnaissance is the new reconnaissance. AI trawls public records, exposed credentials, and org charts to map targets in minutes. Attackers test phishing lures rapidly and spin up infrastructure automatically. That iteration speed means campaigns evolve between morning and afternoon. Defenders need faster intelligence and better hygiene to keep up. Next, we'll cover how attackers target AI itself with cunning technical attacks. Adversaries don't just mimic users, they attack models directly. Evasion attacks slightly change malware to slip past detectors. Poisoning injects bad data so models learn wrong patterns. Prompt injection tricks LLM-based systems into revealing secrets. Model theft extracts behavior through queries. If you depend on ML, you must defend the model lifecycle like infrastructure. Coming up, real-world examples that show both sides experimenting at scale. Nation-state groups and criminal gangs are testing AI for influence, automation, and fraud. Security vendors report lower detection time when XDR, telemetry, and AI-driven playbooks work together. In some incidents, the first 30 minutes are automated: enrichment, containment, and context pulling. That early advantage often decides the outcome. But automation isn't universal. What does the data reveal about costs when breaches succeed? Breaches are expensive. The average cost now sits in the millions. Speed matters. Faster detection and response correlate with lower impact. When AI reduces mean time to detect and respond, it shrinks that bill. But AI can also create blind spots. A gleaming dashboard may hide stale models or biased training data. So what are the concrete failure modes teams must plan for? Start with fundamentals. AI amplifies your base. Good hygiene becomes critical. Enforce phishing resistant, MFA, least privilege, and constant logging. Keep an up-to-date asset inventory. Unknown machines mean unknown risk. Patch critical vulnerabilities fast and prioritize by exploitability. These basics make AI gains reliable. But where should you apply AI first for the biggest wins? Use AI where it pays off fast: alert deduplication, incident summarization, threat intelligence enrichment, phishing detection, and vulnerability prioritization. Measure impact with MTTD, MTTR, and phishing click rates. Start small and prove value with concrete metrics before scaling. That way you buy credibility for bigger projects. But remember, keep humans in the loop. How that balance works matters next. AI is a co-pilot, not an autopilot. Require human approval for actions that change accounts or finances. Use LLMs to draft reports, but keep analysts verifying conclusions. Run tabletop exercises that include AI-driven workflows and failure modes. This preserves judgment and accountability while leveraging speed. Next, we lock down the models themselves, ModelSec practices that treat models as critical infrastructure. Treat models like servers. Validate and clean training data. Limit who can prompt or deploy, and log prompts and outputs. Use guardrails, allow lists, and adversarial testing to find injection vectors. Monitor for drift and alert on anomalies. Vet third-party models and document supply chain dependencies. These ModelSec steps reduce the chance your AI becomes the weakest link. But social engineering still matters. How do you harden identity in communications? Raise the bar for identity and communications. Enforce DMARC, SPF, and DKIM with reject policies. Monitor brand spoofing and block lookalike domains. Require multi-channel verification for wire transfers and payroll changes. Train teams to expect voice and video deepfakes and give them verification scripts. Simple process discipline stops most sophisticated ploys. Next, we discuss content authenticity and provenance to fight deepfakes at scale. Provenance frameworks create chains of trust for media and communications. Watermarking, signed releases, and verifiable media make it harder for fake content to masquerade as real. Industry standards for content authenticity are maturing, and early adopters gain an edge. Clear, signed communications also help during incidents where misinformation spreads. But tech alone won't save you. People need training too, which we'll cover next. Upskill your team to interpret AI outputs and test failure modes. Teach analysts prompt engineering basics and adversarial thinking. Run cross-functional drills with legal, PR, and executives so everyone knows roles when AI is wrong. Document playbooks for failure scenarios and build trust in the system through repetition. For small teams, the advice is simple and practical. What are those starter moves? Small teams don't need bespoke AI. Use built-in features in existing EDR or email platforms. Turn on passkeys and automate low-risk tasks like report drafting and enrichment. Consider managed detection and response if 24/7 coverage is unrealistic. Focus relentlessly on hygiene, patching, backups, offboarding, and access reviews. Consistent small improvements beat unfinished big projects. Finally, what will the next few years look like in this high-speed contest? Quick recap. AI supercharges defense and offense. Speed and scale decide outcomes. Social engineering remains the most common entry point. Keep humans in the loop and secure the model lifecycle. Build fundamentals first. Apply AI where it gives clear ROI and practice failure scenarios. Small teams can still achieve a lot with discipline. Now, one last practical checklist to take away and implement this week. Week 1 checklist. Enable passkeys for admins, enforce DMARC with reject policy, turn on AI features for alert deduplication, and schedule a tabletop including AI failure modes. Log everything and start small metrics, NTTD, MTTR, and phishing click rate. These moves buy time and reduce risk quickly. If you implement only 4 items this month, make them these. In the closing scene, we'll tie this to leadership and governance for lasting resilience. Leadership and governance matter. Treat AI risk like financial risk. Assign owners, require SLAs for third-party models, and use NIST-style risk frameworks for audits. Document data flows, retention rules, and who can fine-tune models. Make adversarial testing part of procurement. With governance, your AI investments yield predictable security improvements instead of surprise failures. Ready for the final takeaway that ties it all together? Final takeaway. AI is a force multiplier for both defenders and attackers. Speed, scale, and discipline will determine winners. Invest in fundamentals, secure the model lifecycle, keep humans in command, and practice constantly. Treat AI like a jet engine, powerful but requiring checks, pilots, and emergency plans. Do that, and you tilt the arms race in your favor. If you want practical templates or a one-page checklist, tell me in the comments and I'll share them. If this helped, like and subscribe for weekly security breakdowns. Comment one checklist item you'll implement this week, and I'll pin the best reply.